Hello guys, welcome to today's session in concept, and today we will be learning about ESG mutual funds, right? What is ESG mutual funds, about its type, okay, pro and cons and many other things, right? So before starting the video, if you are new here, you can go in the description, there is a link below. You can download and install the software. On successful registration, you will get some free tools that you can use in your investment, in your profitable investment, right? Now, if you want to learn more, so in the learn section we have video library. In the video library we have multiple videos on various tools that are available in the application, so you can go through it, available in various languages, so you can select your preference also, right? At any point of time, if you are having any kinds of doubt, you can go in the support and you will get our email ID and phone number, so you can directly reach us out, right? So let's start today's video. So as I have told you, today we will be talking about ESG, right? Let me open the presentation, wait for a second. Okay, so here the today's topic is ESG. Okay, so basically the ESG stands for environmental, social and governance, right? Now ESG is the type of mutual fund that are inclined towards ESG parameters. Okay, so they basically invest on those sectors which are compliant to ESG parameters, right? Now what are the ESG parameters? I'll tell you that. Now the ESG, these type of mutual funds, they covers the sectorial and thematic sectors. For example, you can take renewable energy, right? Then manufacturing sector, health sector. Okay, so these are the sectors that is covered under ESG mutual funds, right? Now what are the ESG parameters that I have talked about, right? So ESG parameter, as I have told you, environment. Okay, so environment will cover those factors in which there will be we are talking about the environment conservation. Okay, so the sectors or the stocks or the companies which are following which are working towards environmental conservation, so ESG will go towards them, right? So here we can see there is reduced carbon emissions, right? So this is one of the thing. Then water disposal system, right? Then we have water conservation. Okay, so these are the aspects that is covered under the environmental factor, right? The second thing is the social parameter. So the social parameter will work towards well-being of the company's employees and society, right? So it will see like if the workers of a particular company are well-being or not, if they are paid well or not, about their health also, right? Then other thing is gender equality, right? So there are for example, there are two companies, okay, and the ratio of gender equality differs, okay, in which in the first one there is a ratio of 1:1, in the other one there is a ratio of 3:1, right? So the ESG mutual funds will invest in the first type of company where the ratio is equal, right? So that is we are seeing here gender equality. Then pay parity, right? So everyone should be paid equally. Okay, the third thing we are looking here is the governance, right? So it covers the factors like for example, the policies and the laws that made by the government, so if they are good or not, good for the society or not, the ethical values also, right? The code of conduct also. So all these things are covered in this governance sector, right? So these are the three parameters that the ESG fund usually look up to when they are investing, right? Now let's come to the types of mutual fund. Okay, so you can see here the types of mutual fund. Okay, so first one is the exclusionary funds, right? Now in exclusionary funds, it will exclude all those sectors which are inclined towards tobacco, weapons or fossil, because it is not better for the society, right? So it will exclude these, right? Next thing is best in class fund, right? So now there is a ESG rating. I'll tell you about what is ESG rating. Okay, so when you are investing in ESG funds, so it will basically go with the stocks or sectors which have good ESG rating, right? I'll tell you about ESG rating later. The other thing is thematic funds. Now the thematic funds is the sector which are basically going towards themes such as clean energy, gender diversity and the water conservation, right? And the last one is the impact funds. Okay, so in impact funds, these ESG mutual funds, okay, so they will invest in the sector which are very much, okay, going for the going for the social harmony, right? Social harmony, or that will impact, that can impact your environment, that can impact your social adaptability, the social, the people of the country, okay, or the governance also, okay. So they will go with this, right? Let's go to the next one. Change. Okay, so we have covered the types of mutual funds. Now, what are the benefits of investing in ESG? When we are investing in ESG, so what are various benefits that you will get? So there are some positive impact. Okay, like what is positive impact? For example, if you are investing in ESG mutual funds, so you will see you are also getting a decent amount of money, a profit, but at the same time the environment is also getting good, okay. There is a social well-being also, and the government is also doing good, because these mutual funds are investing only in those government which are you can say government or PSUs, okay, which are making good policies, okay, which are doing work on ethical values, right? So that is why it creates a positive impact on society also. Then portfolio diversification, right? So if you will invest in a particular stock, it will be inclined towards a particular you can say aim, but we see a portfolio diversification here, right? Because it is covering environment also, social also, government also. So there will be multiple things, right? So there can be diversify profits, right? So this is the thing. Second, then the long term performance. Okay, so now when we are talking about ESG, so as I have told you earlier, it is it covers the thematic and it covers the sectorial also, right? So it is a long term plan, right? It can create, for example, we are talking about the sustainable environment, so it will not be done in upcoming 2 or 3 years, it will take 10 to 15 years, right? So that is why it is a long term plan companies, and surely if they are working towards a good for a good impact, so it will be in a profit in upcoming years also, for example in 10 to 15 years, right? Okay, let's go ahead. So we have talked about the benefits of investing. Now let's compare the ESG funds with the traditional funds that we have to that we have invested before, right? Now before coming to this, let me tell you one thing. For example, the ESG mutual fund, it came on 2021. Okay, so they are recently research, they are recently deployed. Okay, now right now there are 9 mutual funds in ESG, 9 mutual funds in ESG, sorry, and they basically cover the AMU of 9,986 crores, right? So right now we don't have much past data. Okay, so basically what we do when we are investing in these traditional funds, we look back their data, the past data, and then we choose our funds like how it was performing in the past. But right now we don't have much data about this, right? But still it is progressing very fast, right? So let's see what are the differences. Okay, so first I'll say the investment criteria, right? So in investment criteria, invest in the companies that received good ratings, ESG factors. Okay, so when the ESG funds is investing, it is investing on the basis of ESG factors. Okay, only the company which are following the ESG parameters, right? In traditional funds, so the companies that invest only on the basis of profitability, past performance and growth. Okay, nothing else. It don't have anything to do with their long-term goals or the impact on the society, right? Now the second thing is that risk management. So it focuses on the company with strong ESG practices, right? So somehow it will give you a good profit. So there are you can say less risk if you are going for the long term, right? And in this traditional funds, the risk is managed by the fund manager. Okay, then we have the financial performance. So it can prioritize, as I have told you before, it can prioritize sustainability, and sustainability will be acquired in 10, 15, 20 years in a longer time frame. Okay, so short term gains are not much appreciated in this ESG, right? And if we talk about the traditional funds, so their primary focus on the financial returns. Okay, either in short terms or long terms, they are only focused on financial returns, right? Impact on society. So obviously it has a positive impact, as I have told you before. Okay, and it varies on the basis of investment. If you can also be investing in a company of tobacco, okay, so that will have a negative effect. But you can also be investing in a company of solar, okay, of renewable energy, so that will have a positive impact on the society, right? So these are the things that, the difference between the traditional fund and ESG funds, right? I hope all this will be clear to you, right? Let's go ahead. What is ESG score and how it is calculated? Okay, so let me tell you how it is calculated. Okay, so this is the scale of ESG score, right? Now, as I have told you, the ESG mutual funds use the ESG parameters, okay, that is the environment. So the company should have whatever the company is working on, it should have a good impact on environment. Same, it should have a good impact on society, and similarly, it should have a good impact on society, on ethical values and code of conduct, right? So all these parameters, and on the basis of all these three parameters, it categorized the companies on AAA, then AA, then A, then BBB, BB, B and C, right? So it is a descending order. So if a company is getting a rating of AAA, so it is very good for investment. That is a leader, you can see here. Then if a company is getting a score of between among these three, so it will be calculated as average, and then the last one is the laggard, in which it covers 2 ratings, right? So this is the scale on the basis of those 3 parameters, right? Let's go ahead. Okay, so I hope this will be clear, right? Let's go ahead. Okay, now as I have told you, the ESG mutual funds are recently deployed in 2021, right? So we don't have much past data, but what we do, we just take the Nifty 100 ESG index and we compare the performance of ESG mutual funds on this, we take the benchmark of this, the index 100 ESG index, right? And on the performance of this index, we usually see like how our ESG mutual funds are performing, right? So if you can see here, we have some data here. So Nifty 100 ESG index returns. So you can see since inception, when it was deployed in 2021, it gave you a profit of return of 12.7%. That is actually good, right? Now in 5-year returns, it gave you a return of 16.69, right? Now I'll tell you one thing. If you will see the data of last 5-year returns of mid cap, take a large cap or small cap, so you will see they generally gave a return of 13 to 14% only, right? But in comparison to those, you can see the 5-year returns of ESG, it is giving a 16.69 returns. That is actually very good. Okay, so it means it is doing good. The people are loving it. Okay, the people are attracting towards it. Okay, because they also want the society to be in the to be a good impact on the society, you can say, right? Okay, now let's go further. So we have seen, okay, now what are the pros and what are the cons of this? Okay, so first of all, we'll talk about the pros. Okay, now pros, what are the pros? So all these funds invest in the companies, okay, do not invest in the companies whose products are socially harmful to the society, like tobacco, liquor, and so we have already covered this point, right? Now it offers a potential for high returns by in a sustainable ethical practices. So it invests in a company that has a sustainable view, okay, ethical view, okay, so that will create a long-term edge on the society, right? So that's the second point. It reduce risk by avoiding investment in the company unethical. Just take an example for a company who is involved in corruption, right? So there are chances that in some near future the company will be growth of the company will be in negative, right? So that is what it reduces the risk. Okay, now the another thing, generally, now let's see what are the negative points of investing in ESG, right? So the first one, generally the company which are included in this ESG compliant, they are not focused on sustainable growth. So there will not be every company that has a view of sustainable growth. Okay, there are some mutual funds, some companies which are listed in ESG mutual funds, but still they are only inclined toward profit on growth, but not on the sustainable growth. So that is one of the point that you can note here. Okay, the company following sustainable growth practice tends to perform better in long run. Okay, so the time horizon is also there. if you are looking forward for the short term time frame, if you want profit in short term, so that will not be given in ESG, right? You have to maintain a time horizon of a longer period, right? Only then it will be good for you. This investment will be good for you, beneficial for you. Otherwise you will not be making that much profit as you have expected, right? So guys, this was it for today. I hope you have learned what is ESG, how you can invest in it, okay, how it is performing, what are the pros and cons, and what are its types. Okay, so we have covered almost everything, guys. Okay, so if you if you think this session is informational for you, so you can like the video, you can comment us down if you are having any kinds of doubt, and if you are new here, you can subscribe the channel also. This is your trainer Ankit Singh Rawat, and we will be back with another video. Thank you so much. Have a good day, guys.